Hey, and we should be live, and we should just always the first thing we need to do is just to make sure that everybody can see us. So I'm looking at backstage just to get the thumbs up that we should be streaming across X at the moment, across YouTube. 72 networks globally streaming this live right now. So looking for just that thumbs up, and then we can get going, guys. Say hi in the chat. We are live. There we go. So we're good to go. So I'll kick off. Look, this is kind of your call actually, but I'm sort of I'm leading the demo today. So I'm Danny. I'm founder of Foxify, funded the only A-book on-chain prop trading app. There's a lot of fakes out there claiming that they A-book. It's bullshit, right? Just to call it out. And ultimately, we want to solve the problem that some traders, they've got some skill, but they want to have access to more capital very quickly and actually trust the platform that they're trading with. So our funded application plugs into other applications, and we've been around for years. Actually, we've done sort of 4 years in this space now. Foxify for over 3 years. So yeah, amazing to be here. Wael, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, you took the stage there very beautifully. Thank you for introducing yourself. As you mentioned, yeah, you'll be leading this. There's nobody better than you and your team to explain every step of the process and like what you guys have built. It really empowers traders and gives back to everybody in the DeFi space. So yeah, YL, the CMO of PERPTools, also the director of Dext Ventures. We have a huge space today, so excited to have everybody on here. It's our pleasure to host everybody watching, and then our pleasure to have Foxify and the team here. So that's it from my side. I think we should dive right into everything funded. We had a lot of great response. Everybody wanted to learn more about it. So super excited to have you here.
Brilliant. Yeah, we're going to kick off with we're going to go into a demo. It's one because Frido's here, which is a nice surprise. Anyone from Foxify, I can see many of you guys in the chat. Please say hi. Don't forget to shield Foxify always in the chat. Frido, do you just want to say hi? And
yes.
Frido, one thing I would say about our team and business actually is that we all love our product. Actually,
we do.
We talk, not these guys, but we talk to some people who I don't believe they use their own product, and we love our product. We absolutely love our product, and we all use it. And so Frido's here because he's a passionate user of the platform, and it's always good to have his input. But if you want to say hi, Frido.
Yes, well, great to be here. And yeah, as Danny rightfully said, been trading pretty much ever since Foxify came out. Wasn't a really big trader then, and through and through got more confident, and now trading on a daily basis and doing it with a lot of fun and a lot of conviction.
Absolutely. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, so what are we going to do today? So we're going to be here for about 30 minutes. So cancel everything else, give us your full focus. We're going to give you a live demo. I've got a challenge that I started earlier today, actually, so no pressure. In a minute, maybe guess in the comments. Yeah. What positions do you think I've got open? Which direction do you think I'm going in? And give us a shout. Do you think we're in the money, or do you think we're out of the money? Because they're trades that I opened before this call. So either absolute devastation and shame is coming my way, or hopefully you guys can cheer me on and believe that I can hit winning trades. So I'm going to take you through the funded platform. Please hit us with as many questions as possible. There are no stupid questions, right? DeFi is full of lots of the same thing. We're doing something quite different, quite disruptive. And so jump in with your questions, and we'll try and cover as much as we can in the time that we've got. So I'm going to jump across to our platform, and you can see here. So this is the PERPTools platform, which is built on top of the orderly stack. That's really important because what that means is that you've got fantastic liquidity. You can see within a really small price range here, actually, that we've got fantastic liquidity. If we look, we've got over $5 million on the book, just going back $100 in Bitcoin price. So great platform, lots of liquidity. That's what we like working with, actually, is an environment that's really good for traders. So you get as little slippage as possible. And it's also great for the funded system so that you can maximize your results. So I'm going to take you through the live challenge where I am today. And but the first thing to do, and this is what we recommend to everybody, if you go into the funded application, there's a little funded widget at the top of the PERPTools platform. Click on that, and then you'll come into this version of PERPTools that you can see here. And the first thing I always say to anybody, go and read the documentation, get your head around things, come up with your plan, get ready, decide which challenge you want, and come up with your plan for moving forward. But please, please, please go through. There's 2 parts of this document that I recommend you go through. The first one is, what are the 2 challenges that are available to you? So you've got the entry challenge here, which I'll go through. I'll go through Pro actually, because that's the one that I've got open today. So entry is really interesting because you can start with only $100 and we'll 5x that capital for you instantly. That's real capital that's in your account. And the first level is all about proving you can trade, right? So there's no KYC on this platform. There's no evaluations. You deposit and you go straight into having capital, real USDC in your account and trading on the PERPTools platform. I've opened up a Pro account, and what all Pro does really actually is jumps you up a lot higher. So you deposit $500 and I instantly have $2,500, which if you can trade well, actually, you can move the needle. Once you move into thousands of dollars, you can sort of move the needle in terms of your own outputs. And again, the first level, you'll see I'm on bronze. I've deposited $500. The mathematicians out there will realize that the drawdown is 20%, which is $500, because we can't take, we're not going to take liquidity exposure on a complete stranger, right? That would be the fastest way to go out of business. It's a meritocracy, meaning if you perform, then we'll take more liquidity risk on you. It's as simple as that. We don't care what color your hair is, what part of the country you're from. All we care about is that you're able to demonstrate skill, and we'll keep giving you more capital. So once you pass the first level, which you do by achieving points, so you get points by P&L and also being active. So what we don't want to do is take liquidity risk on traders that have been lucky. The best way of checking that people haven't been lucky is by the amount of activity they've done. If somebody's traded more frequently, it's very hard to be lucky repeatedly, right? So you need to accumulate 100 points and also hit the profit target of plus 15%. And you do have a really generous drawdown, obviously 20%, which is the liquidity that you deposited. Once you pass that level, you can withdraw 80% of the profits that you've generated. It's uncapped, by the way. That's the minimum profit target. On average, I think traders on Pro, on average, cash out about $550. That's the average that we see. And then you can move up to silver. And you instantly now have $5,000 in your account, but you've now got $750 worth of drawdown. So you can now lose 15% of that capital. So you've gone from really only having $500 to just passing one level. You've 10x the capital. It's real capital, real profits. And then the sky's the limit, and off you can go from there. Okay. The second part that I'll pull your attention to in this document would be the FAQ. Okay. I think between those 2 things, you get most of what you need. Go into the FAQ. It'll explain how do the points work, how are they calculated, how might I fail my challenge, because if you hit drawdown, then you're idle. But at the same time, that's a risk for us. If people take liquidity from our system and then they're not using it, then that's a risk for us. So if you're idle or you hit drawdown, but there's no other rules, by the way. As long as you're using the capital and you're not blowing up, there's no other rules. At the moment, there's no daily drawdown limit. There's nothing stopping you using your own strategies. If you want to use signals, if you want to use hedging, if you want to trade the news, which traditional prop firms do restrict you doing, because they want to, ultimately, they don't want to see you win so much. Okay. So, but as we jump back into the platform now, and I'll give a bit of demo of that, I do want to pause because I've been talking straight for the last 5 minutes and just see, Fredo or Whale, is there anything there in terms of sort of the introduction and getting your head around the challenges and the way they work that you kind of want to pull out, or questions you want to ask?
I mean, for myself, if I could jump in here, you've done a beautiful job of presenting it. I was super intrigued when I did deposit and you had that balance unlocked with traditional funded accounts. It's kind of predatory where they're banking, as you said, for users to lose. They're charging hundreds of dollars to pass these tests, and what is it, 90% of people failing? So it's more of a generating revenue business for them than actually seeing traders win. So I was quite impressed with it, actually. Depositing, seeing the instant jump in capital, and then being able to use that. And then, like we said, the restrictions you guys have as well compared to traditional funded accounts. They're so restrictive with the criteria, like daily drawdowns, X amount of trades, and so on, so on. And you guys have really made it easy for anybody, from a beginner or for an expert, to build that capital and trade. So I'm a huge fan, and even I've read through the FAQ, as you said, but I still learn a lot just by listening to you. So that's all I wanted to say. Stage is yours.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, no, it's a really good point. And there's a few tells that you'll see actually that kind of tell you that prove beyond any doubt that you're not trading real capital when you use established prop trading firms. Often the amount of capital that they're talking about giving you just isn't realistic to put into most order books. So where they say we'll give you $200,000 and you have unlimited leverage, it's just nobody should be using high leverage on a $200,000 worth of capital. There's little things like that you can see just don't work. And for us, what's really important is we know trading's really tough, and we know traders lose more than they win, right? But we do better. Traders that do well are better for us because we make our money from a trading fee share, and we also have a profit share that comes back into our system if you're successful. So we're absolutely rooting for you. When people get promoted and it pops off in our server, everybody's absolutely over the moon. Whereas the opposite with established prop firms is that deep down, that's why they've got all of these weird and wonderful rules. It isn't because they're trying to find out whether you're a really good trader. It's because deep down they do well if you lose, which is why actually they don't have many of them don't have any time limits. But who would give somebody $200,000 for an infinite amount of time? It just makes no sense whatsoever. But they would love nothing more than for you to buy like $1,000 account and then disappear. That would be their dream, because their job is to try and get your liquidity from you, whereas our job is to try and enable you to make more profit. Cool. So I'll jump in. So what you see here, so this is the PERPTools trading platform. Like I say, there's nothing that changes in terms of the features and the functionality. So check out the PERPTools documentation to get your head around that. What you will see that's different here, and I am aware that, by the way, this trading competitions has ended. The thing that you should be keeping an eye on, which it wants to flip back, is the airdrop. So all of your activity funded on the PERPTools platform does contribute towards your airdrop points as well. So don't miss out on those. And the fact that you've got more capital and you can do more volume, it's intuitive that gives you an opportunity to earn more points. So this modal that you see here is giving me an overview of what's going on at the moment. And the key points are, so number one is, how much money did I have in my account? So I deposited $500, but you can see here that I started with actually a $2,500 account. That's real USDC. It's not funny money. That's real USDC that's in your account and trading on the trading platform. I've also got the timer. So the timer sometimes is misunderstood, and we're planning to remove the timer actually, just because I think some people find it almost like a bit of a pressure. But you start off with 7 days. So you could do nothing for 7 days after you start, and it's not an issue. And every time you open a position or close a position, it will earn you more time. So the timer is just designed really to protect us from a situation where somebody is just disengaged, which does happen. We've got cash outs that haven't been claimed on our platform that we'd love people to come back and claim. So people do just disappear for whatever reason, and that would be a risk for us if we weren't able to basically time out that account and get the liquidity back. So we're going to come up with another solution for that, and the timer will be going. But for now, the timer it's not about putting pressure on you as a trader. As you can see, you'll see the trades that I've opened, and I'm already up to nearly 8 days. So whilst I'm not trading, the timer's ticking down, but if I want, I can go on holiday for a week now and come back. It's not an issue. It'll still be there waiting for me. And typically, we'd expect people to probably take a pause between each level. And when you're on deck mode, by the way, between each level, there's no limit to the amount of time actually you can spend. So if you do finish a level and think, well, I'm going on holiday tomorrow, or I've got a busy week at work and I want to pick it up in a week's time, that's absolutely fine. Okay. So the really important thing is obviously the P&L. We're looking to get to plus 15% P&L and also 100 points. So you can see I've only opened a couple of small trades, but it's already got me 3% towards my points target, and I'm well on my way in terms of P&L as well. So if we have a look at the positions that I've got open, hate to be negative, but I did get a good from a trader that I really do admire and respect. Actually, I got a really good short call from him earlier on today. So backing that up, obviously ZEC for me probably overbought by a long way. That means, you know, it's kind of over an RSI of 70. And if you've got a strong signal on Bitcoin, sold pumped up a bit. So long story short, I believe that the market's going to pull backwards. Fairly sensible position sizes. So actually my account is like not even 2x leveraged at the moment. So always recommend, you know, managing your size very carefully, choosing your entry. You'll see that I've got a stop loss set on every single position, right? Because it's easy to get sucked into DCAing and holding on to a position that's going nowhere. So don't enter a position is my tip unless you have a view on how you're going to be exiting it. But yeah, so that's my. What do you think, Whale? Do you think I've got lucky, or do you think that we're going to see a bit of a pullback?
You know, no, I don't think that's luck at all. I think we might actually have some room to trap some more longs and do some more people to go long, and then come and pull back down a little bit. I do see Bitcoin having the potential, and this is not financial advice, but you know, running a little bit higher. But overall, I do see a downwards like move happening, and you might have timed it real well. But yeah, great job, honestly.
Yeah, let's see. Well, one thing, I'm definitely not a trader, but if we look on the daily chart, my 2 cents is one thing that I've learned. So if we look at this run, it wasn't that long ago we were here. Yeah. What was everyone saying when we were here? They were saying we're going to 40K.
Yeah.
Was everyone been saying when we're here?
Yeah, you know, the flip, the sentiment changes like that. And yeah, the targets go from 100K to 50K in seconds, right? And it's funny to see because I still see the 50K targets and the 100K target communities split. I personally think we go down as well. I just, you know, with what I've experienced and maybe my entries, I always usually see some wicks, or you know, I get stopped out before it goes in my direction, and that's just trading, right? But why not use a funded account for that, right? And not use your capital, and if you do time the trade, then it just, you know, it's a huge win, and especially with the airdrop. I'm not sure if you touched on that or if you're going to touch on that later. It's huge, but we'll stick to the market talk right now.
Yeah, no, it's here. I did mention the banner that you qualify for the airdrop by using funded on PERPTools as well. What do you think, Frido? Because you're a man who likes your signals. You've been watching the market intently. We've been around. You know, Frido's been working with us since 2022. So we've done sort of 2 bears and maybe, you know, not far from our second bull. So what do you think, Frido?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. The market is going down right now. We might have a little pullback, maybe to trap some bulls in, but yeah, we'll probably go down. That is at least what the signals that I use are telling me as well. So you're pretty pretty good there.
The daily looks slightly bullish to me, right? So it's just it's hard to say now, especially with like where also the world is and the conflict that's happening. And I think that's more favorable to the downside, right? Risk on assets don't favor, the time we're in and what can happen, right? So I think you're well positioned, honestly.
Isn't it striking how the market decides when it wants to react to news and when it doesn't, right? Because we've had a lot of uncertainty through this pump up, haven't we? And it's just decided, but that's always a good time to pump the market because, you know, people are nervous of longing.
Of course. Yeah, by the total fear, you know, bloodshed, and most people are, 30K, 40K, Bitcoin is dead, right? You hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. For what it's worth, I think we're still working this channel. So I'm not net bearish yet. But I think I think we're probably going into one of these phases. Yeah.
Well, that's why I said it's kind of bullish. I was just looking at the uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, and you can see that pullback. Yeah, exactly where you have it right there. If we were to break down below there and get rejected on a retest, then I'll flip bearish on the daily. But we still have a chance for that to, bounce off support and slightly work up, maybe put in a double top or something. And that's why I think like we can still wick upwards and like, induce the people to go long, wipe out shorts, and then flip. The market likes just to wipe everybody out.
Yeah, exactly. I see that. I think in the range down here, probably 78. You see, I've got my take profit high 78s. I think it could go a bit lower than that, but I don't want to be too greedy. And if it does wick down and then come back into the range, which is super possible as well, right? That happens quite often, as you can see. Then personally, I see as then probably getting a bit of a euphoric curve up, maybe a bit like this, and then a euphoric curve up, and then dump from about this range. That's my view. Yeah, but who knows? I know nothing. I'm just a man on the internet. So one thing I love about the platform though is it's so smooth in terms of there's nothing worse when you use a platform and you have to go manually close your limit orders after you close a position. You can see here I've got one take profit. The system allows me to set that. I think I've set it to about 80% of the position, and then I'll set stops to entry if it hits it. And then if it runs on, then great, I'm in the money, but I don't want to be too greedy. But if I decide to get out of this position, then the platform there's no manual work for me. It deletes all of those market orders, those limit orders and market orders that are related to my position. It's really smooth. Cool. All right. So the next important thing actually for you to look at is, let's go back here. So we've learned about it. We want to start our journey. So we kind of skip past that because I'm already in the challenge. But you get here and it will show you that I can start on the Spark level, which is $500 funded, move through the levels up to $10,000. Or what I've done is I've started on Pro and I move through the levels. I can also flip between trading perpetuals and the funded account, by the way. So just with this little toggle that you see up here, if I want to just go back to my main account, I can also trade on PERPTools as well directly from a perpetuals account. I don't have to be using funded, so I can do both. What's super cool, and I always have this on, by the way, is that we also have an auto promotion trigger. And that's great because nothing worse than if your accountant's in a position where you could have got promoted in your sleep and then it moves back against you and you wake up and it's a sad story. So the auto promotion, if you have it switched on like me, if your account is in a state where you would be promoted, the system takes over, closes all of your positions and promotes you. And then you wake up and you can just cash out your profits and start the next level with $5,000. So I personally always have that on. Some people don't. I've seen some people, the markets really run in their favor after it's triggered and they've said, I wish I hadn't had it on. But I think it's always one of those things. I'm curious, you two guys, would you use the auto promotion trigger?
Personally, myself, I've been in the market for quite some time. I take my profit. I would definitely have that. That's like a guaranteed TP. I definitely leave that turned on.
I, on the other hand, always have it set to on. Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, no, Wei was saying that he would have it on.
Oh, he will have it on. Oh, sorry. I thought you were. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Oh no, I've round tripped a ton of positions, and now I'm in. Like Danny said at the start, don't take a trade unless you have an exit, and that's either a stop loss or take profit, right? And it could have ran up higher, but more of the times it doesn't. So I'm just happy with getting my TP filled. And,
exactly.
I'll definitely have that option. It's a very cool option. It's a very cool feature.
Cool. So here also you'll notice there's a bit of a notice up here because I'm on the start your funded journey page is saying, oh, he's already in a journey. Is he going to start another one? Because you can start as many as you like from the same account. Okay. So you could start an entry and a pro. You can have multiple if you want to hedge them against each other. Be our guest, right? If you've got a system that works, then you have multiple. And all you would do is just go into your list of journeys here and you can see here. So this is my pro account. It's active. It's telling me what's going on. But every time I open a new challenge that I'm running at the same time. Now, if I restart the same one, it will still have the same ID. So you would just have one line on there. But I can have multiple running, and I just use my switcher in the bar here to move across them. So we do also have, so there is going to be a dedicated mint for PERPTools. Now this is really important. So you can see here, I would be able to check my eligibility. Now my volume is fairly low because this is a new account. But once I get past a certain amount of volume in the system, I can qualify for either 1 or 2 mints as well. So I can qualify for the 2 mints by doing 250k volume and 1 mint by doing 125k volume. And then our snapshot for this is July the 15th. So you've got until July 15th to qualify for that mint. Now, it's too much to go through on this call. Go and check them out in the documentation. The NFTs are really cool. So it's a random mint. It's completely free, but you qualify by using the platform. If you mint a gold NFT, that NFT can get you 25% extra funding, which is a significant amount of capital. And that's at every level. So if you get up to 10K, that NFT being staked will give you an additional $2,500 in your account. If you have a silver, so you have, I think, a 5% chance of minting a silver, then that will give you 10% extra funding. And if you have a bronze, you can either collect 4 other bronzes and then merge the 5 bronze into a silver, or you could just go and sell it. Okay. So by using PERPTools, by using the funded platform, you'll qualify for this mint that's coming up later on in a couple of months' time, actually. And yeah, and like I say, you're 1 in 100 chance of minting gold. I think floor price of gold at the moment is about $9,000. There isn't many in circulation. Floor price of silver, I think, is about $900 for a day. And the floor price of the bronze at the moment is about $250. So yeah, there's an extra sort of little bonus there as well. So the last thing I'm going to cover, and I love this area, and there's loads of updates going on. This is going to be updated very soon, but this is my dashboard. So this is just telling me what's going on in my account. So it tells me where I am in terms of my current profit, how am I doing in terms of my points accumulation, and then it gives me a bit of feedback in terms of my trading, what my average trade size looks like. And you can see, because I've only had this live a very small amount of time, it's making their calculation that I do 30 trades a day, but I've done 3 in a couple of hours. So it's assuming I would do the same for the rest of the time. But this is a great place. You check into your dashboard, find out how you're getting on, and that's it. That covers it. So we've covered the NFTs, we've covered the where you learn about funded, how you start your journey, how you view your journeys, and most importantly, from a trading perspective, how you get your cash outs and make it big.
Amazing work, Danny. It's quite popular, honestly. We've had hundreds of people tune in, so I think we're going to be doing these quite often. We're going to be bringing on the best traders, partners on these shows. Also, I think it would be great to have a show about the NFTs. There's a lot of people asking about those. And then we also are working quite hard on the agentic side of things on integrating the AI agents with funded accounts. That flywheel is just insane, from the profit to the airdrop points to the volumes generated. And then, of course, the capital you'll accumulate to trade. So we have so much exciting things coming your way. I mean, I couldn't have done a presentation like Danny. So this is a pleasure to have you, and Frida as well. Very loved by the community. So yeah, it's great to have you guys.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, and the NFTs is I think we need to almost do another session. There's a dedicated NFT mint for PERPTools community, and the only way you can qualify for that is by through the PERPTools community is by getting on the platform, doing a challenge, and just once you've crossed a certain volume threshold, then you qualify for that free mint. Like I say, floor price of the gold is 100 chance of minting those thousands of dollars at the moment. So a real sort of it's a real Willy Wonka type of NFT system.
Yes.
But there's no cost to mint. Once you qualify, then you're in. And like I say, you've got a 94% chance of minting a bronze. And
Correct.
if you do, you can just go and sell it or pick up another 4 and turn it into the silver.
I mean, that's huge. Definitely gonna go and get one of my NFTs. I need to go and check some of my trades on my funded account and see if I'm doing as great as you, Danny.
But check your eligibility as well. Maybe you already have.
Yeah. Like I said, I learned a lot, honestly. So for myself, I got a ton of value, and imagine the hundreds of people listening did as well. This is live across, what did you say, 72 networks? So if you want to replay it, watch it,
ABC, CNN.
Everything. Yeah.
we'll be doing these often, so a pleasure to have you guys, and then a pleasure for everybody taking time out of their day and coming and watching. Make sure to check out funded accounts. It's a no-brainer. You get instant capital. Like, I was surprised when I saw that, and yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, well, often the feedback we get is it sounds too good to be true, which is not. It's not really where you want to be, but there's not a lot we can do. It is what it is. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you everybody that's tuned in. Always a pleasure, and Frido, thanks for jumping in as well.
Of course. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.